But before I actually invest, I want to show you the different order types available through Robinhood. Each one of these order types works differently, and this impacts the buying and selling of stocks. By default, as you can see at the top, it's a market order, but if you want to change this, you'll click in the top right where it shows dollars, and you can see the different types of conditional orders listed below. When you buy or sell a stock on Robinhood by default during market hours, it's going to be a market order. And this simply means that you're going to get the first available price for buying or selling the stock, and you'll have near immediate order execution. It's usually just a few cents difference between the bid price, or what people are looking to buy the stock for, and the ask price, which is what people are looking to sell the stock for. So when you place a market order, it's going to fall in between those two. Market orders are best for those that are looking for immediate order execution, but if you wanted to specify the price exactly that you're buying or selling a stock or ETF for, that is when you would use a limit order. So if we click in the top right here, we can select limit order, and this will actually show us the current bid price and the ask price for Microsoft. So right now it's $4.53 as the bid and $4.53 as the ask. So that 8-cent difference between the two is referred to as the spread. And if you were to place a market order, the price would fall between those two numbers. But let's say, for example, that you wanted to buy one whole share of Microsoft, but you wanted to specify the exact price that you were going to pay. If you wanted to pay exactly $453 and no more for Microsoft stock, you could set your limit price at $453, and it would only fill that order if that specified price was met, and you can do the same exact thing on the sell side. Now, limit orders are not guaranteed to execute because there's no guarantee that Microsoft will hit exactly $453 a share, but this is helpful for those who are looking to specify exact prices for order execution. In addition, if you decide to trade stocks or ETFs in the Robinhood 24-hour market, which we're going to talk about later, you are only able to use limit orders during the after hours, so it is important to be aware of how these work. Now, the next order type is called a stop order. These are not as common, but I am going to show you how this works now. If we click on the information button in the top right, it's actually going to show us how these orders work. With a stop order, it's going to place a buy if the stock breaks above a certain price, or a sell if the stock breaks below a certain price. Once the stop price is met, it's going to trigger a market order, which is going to be executed immediately. Like I said, this is not too common, but if you're using technical stock analysis, for example, and watching charts and waiting for a stock to break out of a certain price level before you buy it, that is when you might want to use a stop order, for example. Or you could set a stop loss if you wanted to automatically sell a stock if it fell below a certain price level that you weren't comfortable with. The next order type we're going to cover here is called the stop limit order. This works very similar to the stop order, but instead of triggering a market order, it's going to trigger a limit order once the stop price is met. This shows us a visual here of what that might look like. So if you wanted to set a stop price at a certain level, but then trigger a buy order if it hit a different price level, you could specify that limit price, and you can do the same exact thing on the sell side. The next order type here is called a trailing stop order. And this is going to be a set percentage that trails or follows the stock each day, which can automatically trigger a buy or sell order. This type of order would be used if you wanted to automatically buy or sell a stock if it moved in excess of a certain percentage in a given trading day, but once again, it's not commonly used. For the most part, it's market orders and limit orders that you should be familiar with, but now you have a general idea of how these other order types work. And the last order type I want to show you here is the recurring investment, and this allows you to automatically invest in a stock or ETF on a routine schedule. So you could set the frequency here for every single market day, every week, every 2 weeks, or every month. So for example, if you wanted to invest in Microsoft every week on Friday, you could choose that, click on continue, and if you wanted to put $1 into Microsoft stock every single week automatically, you could do that through a recurring investment. These recurring investments are great for a strategy called dollar cost averaging, which is where you are automatically investing the same amount on a routine schedule, and this can allow you to pay close to the market average for that stock or fund over a long period of time. So if we take a look at Microsoft, for example, over the last 3 months, we can see how there have been some ups and downs, but overall it has trended upward cards over the last 3 months. If you were buying this every single week, sometimes you would buy it when it was up high, sometimes it would be down low, back up high, back down low. And what this would do is help you to pay close to the market average for those shares over time. And this can be especially useful when you're investing in something like an S&P 500 ETF. But what we're going to do now is just click on the trade button. We're going to click on buy, and we're going to invest $10 at this point through a market order in Microsoft. Now, one other thing I want to show you here, if you're looking to invest in whole shares versus individual dollars that are fractional shares, you can click the top right and change this over to buy in shares, and you could buy one whole share of Microsoft for $453.78 at this point in time, and it fluctuates all of the time based on the buying and selling of the stock during market hours. But we're just going to change this back over to buy in dollars. We're going to type in 10, and then we're going to click on review, and this is going to buy us 0.02204 shares of Microsoft. And just like before, we're going to swipe up, and because this was a market order, it filled immediately at a share price of $453.51.